Oh, we're gonna use this. This is it.
You gotta restart it though. You're gonna say
no,
it again. I cut it.
Why?
I started in the middle.
Why did you stop it? Start it right now. Record now. Go.
We're recording.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cups of Crazy. I'm Rachel.
I'm Lee.
And today we're gonna be
It's Friday.
We're gonna be talking about self-exploration. It is Friday. It doesn't matter to me though, because I'm frozen. So there's only yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Dude, that's so true.
Are you doing it?
Everything just like goes together. And then today, I freaking woke up late because I saw my alarm and I was like, just go back to sleep. And then I woke up and I was like, shit, I have to wake up Brendan. Like, totally threw me all off.
There's shit to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't the only reason I have to wake up early, obviously, is take AJ to school, and then I'm like, what to do? Not that I haven't been keeping myself busy, but speaking of keeping busy, so there's an app that we both use that Lee found, and it's called The Mighty. Excuse me. And it's just basically a place you can be anonymous. You don't have to put your real name or your real picture. Do you use your real stuff?
I do, actually.
Yeah.
I had made it just to see what it was like. And then now that I actually am on it all the time and check it, I don't really care if anyone sees me on there or whatever.
That's why I wasn't sure. I put, when she told me about it, I made one, but I ended up putting it as our account, like a Cups of Crazy thing. That way we could post, because this app is so cool because, like I said, you can be anonymous or not. And it's just a place to talk about any mental health issues. Like, people will straight up tell you, I'm feeling suicidal. Someone talk to me. And, you do. And we've actually made quite a few connections. I had that one thing that, I was only on the app for a couple of days and I had 70 something comments and 100 and something likes on that one picture or quote. But through that, we write on there, thoughts about our next episode, any topic. And I talked to this girl, shout out to Jules from Australia, first listener from Australia. And she was just telling us that, when she's having triggers, which we've talked about in a lot of episodes, that she, her psychiatrist told her to put her feet on the floor. I think it's supposed to be a stay grounded thing, but she's like, what the fuck is that about? So I just told her to breathe and meditate. But shout out to her, just because she ended up saying, I signed up to watch you guys and blah blah blah. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then we have a video that we want to share with you. This woman is brave to share this video because we're talking about self-exploration. She has, I don't want to say it wrong, this is multiple personality disorder is the easier way to say it. So she sent us a video. She's also a writer. I'll put the link for her book down below, and we're going to share that.
Hey, Cups of Crazy. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak a little bit about what I go through every day with dissociative identity disorder, also known as multiple personality disorder. My name's Margarita. I go by Ditto, Sasha, Ivory, Cass, Belle, Dash. There's a man that doesn't have a name and a baby that doesn't have a name. And I've been struggling with this disorder since I was about maybe 15 or 16 years old. And it's a real struggle. I find myself losing time, sometimes days, hours, and it can be really frustrating because sometimes I have to have my wife tell me what I've done or what I have said. And I think the only thing that really relieves my stress and controls it more is writing, reading, and keeping my mind kind of occupied, because I don't believe in medication. And it's kind of rough. It's even hard sitting here talking about it, knowing that people are going to hear about it. But I really do hope that people that have this disorder understand that they're not the only ones out there. There's places to get help, people to listen to, write, find something that is going to make yourself better, and learn to work with your alters, your personalities, and make yourself feel worthy of what you are and who you are. Because at the end of the day, there's 8 of us, but it's only one body, one mind, and it's treatable. And you just have to learn to work with it. And I hope that letting this out there and spreading the word will bring more awareness to it. Thank you guys so much.
Her name is Margarita Rivera, and I've known her for over 20 years, and that was very brave of her to do that. I asked her, she asked us to talk about that disorder, but surprisingly, neither one of us have that one. We just have every other one. So I asked her to make a video because she couldn't come over to, be here. And so thank you so much. So anybody who has any more questions about that, feel free to reach out to us, and I will get you in contact. I can get you in contact with her. And yeah, she's so cute. And her wife is so supportive. And I love Jay. That's her wife. She's great. AJ learned about all kinds of love through Margaret, and what kind of love that there is. And he's like, wait, she's a girl, she's a wife. And I was like, yep, that's right. And she's awesome like that. So thank you, Margaret, for sharing. And then so we're going to talk about self-exploration. And right before I made me and Lee like this whole thing of stuff we could talk about, but right before we started recording, I started thinking about a humanities class that I took years ago. And self-exploration is about figuring out who you really are, what your values are. Because if you think about it, we're born with a given name, with a given religion, with a given set of like traits that your parents are going to do that are, that you're habitually just going to end up doing on that conditioning. So it's like, how do you explore those things? Like, how do you separate yourself from what you were just told to be versus who you are? Thoughts?
Yeah, it's very tricky, because we've talked about before, like growing up and like, the different things we saw and that type of world where you're brought into chaos. There's absolute chaos around you all the time. So it's really, so
what?
My phone rang.
Did I pause?
No. So, growing up with a chaotic family, you learn things very young. You tend to become very observant, to always know what's going on around you, because with chaos, a lot of times can come, there's so much that can lead to abuse, to drug use, that you're just conditioned down that path. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is probably going to happen to me, because not one single person in my family is not a drug addict, an alcoholic, sex offender. You know what I mean? Like, you find out,
like the list goes on.
Right.
Overdosers. I mean,
right. So there's so much that we, have seen when we were young. And my thing was always, soon as I turn 18, like, I'm moving out of New Bedford, like, I'm getting away from everyone. I never wanted to be like anyone in my family, because I didn't really have role models. Yeah, I had people where it was like, okay, I'm not going to do that, and I don't want to do that. And for the record, it was on my mom's side. My dad's side of the family, they're amazing. Didn't get to spend as much time with them, but it was always, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, going to get an education. That kind of got shifted a little bit, but I got back on track. So looking back now, I am proud that I was able to get off that chaotic path that
I'm so proud
we were destined to kind of go down. You got to break the cycle somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. like, even, like, well, originally what I was going to ask you was, like, when you were like, you're just born to be chaotic. Like, sometimes I feel that I don't know how to live regular without chaos. I feel like my world doesn't know how to exist without it. Like, I almost feel like if I'm not experiencing chaos, I'm getting anxious because I feel like something chaotic is about to happen.
Yeah.
Or I'll just create chaos within my own world. You know what I mean? Like, not consciously, but kind of, because it's like, things are going too right, so let me just fuck it up real quick.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So the
yeah,
other shoe to drop. You're just waiting for it.
you're just waiting for it, and when it drops, it shatters like a glass fucking slipper. And it's the same, but so my dad and her mom are brothers and sisters, just so you know. Like, my mom's side of the family is good, like her dad's side is, but that part is just, it's terrible. So they're the fucking worst. Oh, visitor, did you see him?
I did.
Okay, yeah, he was climbing on my keyboard this morning. And then what the other thing you said about not wanting to be like them or whatever, like, my biggest fear is being like my dad,
Right.
minus the heroin, but other things, you know what I mean? Like,
No. I get it.
So it's just like, sometimes it's like, so going back to what I said earlier about the humanities class, like, that's when I really started learning, because we didn't really grow up religious, you know what I mean? Like, my mom's Christian, she liked going to church. Remember when we used to go to the Church of the Nazarene in New Bedford?
Yes.
Like, I remember watching you get baptized. Did you not?
I don't know. I love that church.
You were like 15.
Yeah, that was the only church I ever liked going to. But see, I grew up where we were, Protestant, Christian, whatever, but my dad was Jehovah's Witness. So right from the get-go, I was like, wait, how?
You're a door knocker.
Yeah. No, it's true. And how can my mom believe in this and my dad believes in that?
Neighbors are JW, and I'm pretty sure they watch. You guys, sorry about that.
But yeah, growing up with two totally opposite religions right there, it made me, I know I see them, it made me question right from the get-go. And I remember my dad just saying, you decide what you believe in. If you want to talk about Jehovah, come to me. And my mom was just like, just be a good person. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean?
That's how the first time I took that class and started that class changed my life in a lot of ways. And I took him 3 times, for electives. I would take extra humanities classes because he was this old British guy, but we just had a really cool connection. Like, he got me or something,
Yeah.
And I told my mom, he talked a lot about basically who would you be if no one told you to be anything? Like, who would you be if you just grew up without anybody? Like, right. Would you be religious? Probably not. So that's when I would go into with my mom, I don't really believe in, but I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
Right.
I just believe in being a good person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, and I think people, ask, what's your religion? And it's like, look, I know there's something bigger than me. I respect that there's something bigger than me. I don't, have issues with people that, are religious and whatever. My thing that I was always told is just be a good person, do right by others, even if, they're not doing right. But you know what I mean? Just be like that empathetic, understanding person. Things that you don't understand, don't be ignorant to it just because you don't understand. So it was all these different things that were instilled in me, which that part was probably the best part of how I grew up. But it's one of those things where I'm not ignorant to there's something bigger than me. It's just I also feel you have to put all your problems on that
one person or
you know
thing.
what I mean? You go and get the things you want. Don't give it to God
Right.
to make happen. You make it happen. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Have faith. But this is I forget, I'll try to figure out what I was watching or reading years ago again. But it's basically, it's like if everybody treated themselves like religious people,
Yeah.
or prayed to themselves the way that they put their problems in the hands of God, or pray to God like as if you're your own God, because you are inside.
Right.
It's like, the world might be different, because look how separated we are because of you know because of religion. There's 500 gods. So who's to say that one, Jesus, is the one, when all these other religions believe that theirs is the one? I just have, my whole issue is like, I have trouble believing in like somebody who's all, mighty, knowing, and this and that, but like allows children to be raped or starved to death, or I can't with that. But I know there's a higher power working. You know what I mean? So as far as like for self-exploration that goes, like if you are religious or not, like, are you, you could be in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, but think about it. If you weren't taught about it, would you be doing it?
Right.
That's kind of what self-exploration is, like separating yourself from everything that when you were born. Writing your story. I think I sent that to you. Writing your story, so your narrative of like, what happened, how you grew up, and then changing it. Like, how do you want to change your narrative? How do you want to change your future? And you can't do that until you dig deep inside, and that can include releasing repressed, memories, issues, whatever.
Yeah.
It's important work, and there's a shadow work, a lot of people call it too, and it's hard because you have to admit things that you don't want to admit to. Like, overall, I think that that interview I had yesterday, the lady asked me if I were to ask your friends or family to describe you, how would they describe you? And I was like, oh. I was like, I'm really funny. And that's the first thing I said. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I just feel like if you're in a stressful situation, saying one quirky comment, can release the tension. There's a time and a place or whatever. But, it's true. It's like, how do you know what people think about you? How do they describe you? I just said, I'm empathetic, I'm kind, and I'm funny. Like, I don't know what else to say, because I don't know how people view me. And then it's really hard when you view yourself a certain way. Like, I still view myself the same way I did when I was 15. I'm a good girl. I follow rules. I do this. I do that. But I'm not that person. I haven't been that person in a long time. That's where the self-exploration comes in, whether you really want to admit to the bad things that you've done. And once you start doing that and letting go a little, you can let go and become somebody new. Well, honestly, a better version of you.
I think for me, it's easier to point out the negative as opposed to the positive. So for me, it would have to be flip work to, really dig deep what I truly like about myself, what I truly feel I did great at. You know what I mean? So like for me, it would be
and that's a thing. Wait, go ahead. Sorry, I was looking, because it is like trying to find like,
yeah, you gotta find that peace within yourself, which I'm not incredibly spiritual, but at the same time, I know that's something that I need to work on, and it's something that eventually I will. But it's definitely harder, and I think I would need to get to a better mental state.
How has been working out every morning working for you?
Good. So except today, I freaking slept late. I was having a great dream, and I went back to sleep after my alarm went off.
Glowy.
I look so what?
Glowy, like happy.
I am. Yeah, I've been working out every morning. I have a good routine going. And then throughout the day, because I, sit at my desk most of the time working, I do get up and try to just move around a little bit, do some stretches. So throughout the day, I'm kind of releasing any tension. Working in customer service, it's important to kind of remove yourself and remind yourself, this is what you do. You love what you do. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. It's always going to be like that no matter what you do. So it's good for me to kind of step away. It's good to step away and just release some of that. So I've been doing pretty well with that. Distance learning is a whole other story. But yeah, that on top of working, it's like,
yeah, exactly. Well, at least you get to be home though. That's good.
Oh, totally. And my kids are like, they're really great about it. It's just,
yeah,
I'm not very smart. So doing this math,
not true.
I'm like, bruh, like,
it's because they changed the math. Are they doing the Common Core thing or whatever still? They're trying to reverse that here. Like they're trying to go back to, I don't know, 2 + 2 = fucking 4. Why do we need to do it 7 different ways?
Dude, it's horrible. And I wasn't good at math. So now
I love math.
I Google everything and we watch YouTube videos, but that on top of work has been a little tricky, but overall I'm home. You know what I mean? I get to keep my kids at home. I get to work from home. So those types of things I remind myself throughout the day when I get like frustrated. It's like, you have it pretty good right now. Like, go for a walk, go down the stairs, down the deck, like whatever. Just get out for a minute, remove yourself, center my chi or whatever, and then I'm good.
Good. I've been trying to, besides find a job, even though I just found out that if I don't find a job and eventually they let us go, which is what they should do, I get a severance package. So I'm like, full time. But yesterday was exciting for me because I was up, not last night, but the night before, till like 2 o'clock in the morning because I can never sleep. And I seen a girl who does birthday parties. I'm not going to say her name or her business because the cursing that we do just probably wouldn't work out for that. But I knew her in high school, and she posted about a friend or just a local business of a girl, and she, was like, go see this girl for facials and body massages, and, posted all the services she listed. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't even know this other girl, like, at all. And I completely redid like a menu for her and did it and sent it to the girl I know from high school, and she sent it to her, and she said it made her morning. Fast forward, she asked me to look through her website and try to edit it and make a bunch of menus for her. So that's been something that was like, oh, look at that. You keep saying like advertising and PR, you're good at that. I'm about to make it happen.
Right.
Considering I couldn't send an email attachment like 2 years ago, and now I can make websites, it's pretty.
Yeah, you made our website and it came out incredible.
I did.
Like,
I thought it did,
bro. It came out.
Dang.
I opened it up and I was like, oh my god, I love the fonts and like the colors. I got all excited.
The cursive in the background that say "Cups of Crazy." I don't know if you noticed that. Let me see. So I know there was like another one or two. And speaking of, every episode we have, I'm like a little PDF challenge queen. So I'll always have a PDF of something related to the video. So for this, I'm gonna make a PDF so you can kind of with prompts for questions for your past, your present, your future, for self-exploration. Again, if you guys need any book recommendations or anything like that, always feel free to write us. I just wanted to, this is what I want to talk to you about. So they talk a lot about inner conflict as far as self-exploration. So an example would be like, do you value honesty? Or we'll switch it around. Your partner says they value honesty, but they cheat on you.
Right.
That's an inner conflict. And how do you work on that to fix that? There's something wrong because, you're not being cohesive within yourself. Like it's unaligned. So it's like, what do you do about that? How do you fix that? How can you become the best version? Figure out what you lie about, what values don't really align with what you say inside or whatever. Like if I were to say like, well, I don't even want to use religion, because if I said like, oh, I believe in God, but then I go kill someone, like you're forgiven for all your sins or something, right? So that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or like gossip. You don't like gossip. when people talk about you, but you talk about other people. It's
Right.
like, there's inner conflicts like that. And then here's just some things that you guys can think about and send us like your thoughts on. Again, in the website is where everything is available: YouTube, podcasts, all our platforms, all our goodie pages and things like that. But some of the things are like, what do you feel your calling is? What contributes to your well-being? Like, how do you want to be remembered? Let's do that one. You answer that one. How do you want to be remembered?
That's deep.
It is. That's what she said.
I can't. So I think the first thing that came to mind when you said that was, I just want to be remembered as a great mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the only thing in life that truly matters to me, like every day, is my kids, and that I'm doing everything I can to make them happy and give them the life that I, kind of wish I had when I was younger. But on the flip side of that, because of the life I had a lot of street smarts, which is something that they're not going to have. So
Oh,
I
poor
kind of think
Agent.
about that, but
Yeah.
I would say I want to be remembered as, being a loving mom, a mom that did everything I could to, give my kids a good life and show them all the love all the time.
And that's amazing. And I agree. I feel like you're a way better mom than me, but
Don't say that crap. I don't want to hear it.
Well, only there's a reason I say that. It's because no one's perfect. I'm not a perfect parent.
Definitely not.
You're not a perfect parent.
Yeah.
But because I spent so much time mentally not present because of a lot of things that I dealt with, like, that's some guilt that I take away. But here's an even deeper question for you. Now, it says, what do you want to be remembered for? Can you separate who you are from being a parent? Like, because that's not who you are. It's just a part of what you do. But
Right.
as far as who you are, that's what's hard. Like, when you're doing self-exploration, you have to strip all the titles, all the labels. No one's daughter, no one's mother, no one's boyfriend, girlfriend. Who are you without all that? That's the question.
Yeah, I have no idea. What would be
So
your answer?
figure that out. I'm sorry, what?
What would be your answer?
That I helped save the life.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, honestly. And whether that's, my sons or not, because, he's been alive this long. Some people are surprised. But
You're doing good.
Yeah. For helping. That's,
just putting awareness out there and letting people know they're not alone.
Yeah, but once you strip everything down, I feel like that answer is different. So maybe we should have an answer for the next time when we come on, like, that's what we can talk about.
I accept that challenge.
Okay. And you have to accept my other one. I'm glad you're working out every day. That makes me happy. Yeah, I've been yoga and doing meditating every day and all that good stuff. So this is the second installment of our self series, I guess we're gonna call it. There are quite a few topics that we can still, you wouldn't believe how many self topics, like me. So so we did self-care. Today was about self-exploration. There is self-respect, self-esteem, self-love, and one more. If there's anything specific you guys would like us to talk about, let us know. We're going to post on all of our social media platforms which one you guys would want to hear about for the next one. And again, if you have any stories, thank you, Margaret, for yours. Thank you, Jules from Australia, for listening, and everybody else who follows. Please subscribe and download. We appreciate every single person. Is there anything else?
I don't really think so. I just think everyone out there that deals every day with any type of mental illness, you don't realize how strong you are, and thinking about how far you've come and the fact that you're here today, that right there is a win. Every day when you wake up and you try to fight those demons every day and you go to bed at night, you already won. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's important for people to understand, the fact that you go on an app and you put everything out there and ask people, help me. That right there, you're asking for help. You're putting yourself out there. And I think that is really important. And there's still such a huge stigma around
That's
mental illness. And it's like, no, like,
crazy, or
right, we're
not.
people too. And I feel like if people understood more, they would be more empathetic and they would be more willing to just sit there and listen and understand, and be there for each other.
And when you said that, it reminded me of that thing where it's like, a lot of people with mental health issues, it's not that something's wrong with them, it's something that's happened to them.
Right.
People need to realize that. Like, we don't choose to be like this. I was like crying and cranky right before we came on. I didn't want to record. But when certain situations arise, you have to realize, is it just, a bad day, or is it my mental health issues that are messing with me? So I'm like, just do it. Because I love recording with you. So like, I know that I'll feel better, and I do. So always just push yourself, like just
That's
keep
the
going
thing.
and reach out.
Push through it.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Push
You got it.
through.
So yeah,
Nothing else to do.
much my ending
Well,
to that.
Yay, awesome. Well, this was good, and we're going to get this posted up everywhere, and I'll have the PDFs on the website. I'll let you guys know when those are ready through Facebook or Instagram. There is a subscribe link right on our front page, and if you subscribe to our newsletter, which really doesn't exist yet, but I'm working on it, I'm making it. But if you subscribe to us, we'll make sure that you get either something positive in your inbox every day or every other day, or something funny, or you can give us a chance to tell us what you want us to talk about, or anything, or we're just like Margarita sent those videos, she goes by both. Send videos if you'd like, if they're whatever we're talking about, we'll be happy to include it and make sure it fits in however. So we are here for you guys.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Coffee Beans. Make great choices and have a great day, and get help if you need it.
Bye.